Now, the last thing, let's talk about formatting strings. So there are two ways you can format your strings. There is an old-fashioned way with using the percentage sign, or by using the dot format or the F strings. So for example, let's just demonstrate this. For example, let's see we have a variable here and let us call it Tony. This Tony, we may say my string, the variable is, and we put here percentage string, and at the end here we add again a percentage val here. And so if we print, let's say print my string, save this. So, and once we print this, we are going to have the variable is Tony. So this is the old-fashioned way, although it works. Sometimes you may have a number here. For example, instead of Tony, we may have 2 here. So if you have 2 here, you can't use the percentage S here. Here we use the percentage D. This means we have a digit here. So if we save this, we need to have the variable is 2. Of course, the variable is 2, but also we may have a floating number. So let's say we have 2.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we use percentage D here, let's print here and save this. Still, we are going to have 2 here and without the decimal points. So to overcome this, instead of using D here, we have to use the percentage F. And if we use F, we save this. If we print it here, we are going to have the decimal places, and we know the default is going to just to give us the 6 decimal places. So it starts here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 7 is excluded. We may decide to say how many digits we want to see on our floating value. So if you want to do this, you can say dot, you may say 2 digits here. If we print it here, okay, let me see here. If we print it here, so we are going to have 2 digits because we specified that we need to have just 2 digits from our floating variable. We can also use the dot format method. So instead of using this the old-fashioned way, we can just decide to use the dot format method. So let's say our variable is still this one, and let's just see how we can use the dot format method. So when using the dot format method, instead of putting this percentage here, you just delete this here and put a placeholder here. So this is called the placeholder, and then instead of putting a percentage value here, you just use dot format, and then you put your variable inside here. So if you save this and if you print it here, you are going to have your variable here. Okay, so this is how you use the dot format method. It's just simple, and just have to put a placeholder here and insert your variable here. Now let's say if we have many variables, for example, let's say we have our variable 2 here. Let's give this equals to 4, and then placeholder 2 here, and instead of just writing variable here 1, we say variable 2 here. So val, it should be val 2 here. Sorry for that small mistake. and you should be eval to here. So if we save this and if we print this, so we are going to have just a space here. So we are going to have this here, the variable is this one and the variable is this one. So this is how you use two variables using the dot format method. So with this you can also specify the amount of digits you want to have when you print your variable. So our first placeholder here, variable 1, so we may decide to use the colon, then we say dot, let's say 2 floating numbers. If we print here, still we have the variable is this and this one, so we have just 2 digits. So this is how you can use the by specifying how many digits you are going to have from your variable. Now let's talk about the newest style of formatting our strings, and this I would highly recommend everyone to use this because this is simple and just very simple to use. Okay, now let's say we have our variables here, variable 1 and variable 2. So instead of doing this, we just write the variable is and say we put the f here in the format string, and then inside here we put our placeholder, and we may say we may say we have two variables, so and we use another placeholder here. So after putting a placeholder, you can just insert direct your variables. Here we have variable here and we have var2 here. Okay, so if we decide to print this, let's save. If we print this, you see we have the same answer, but this is the simple one because we just using the f string here to format our string. So as guys, you can see this is very simple compared to other method, and we really recommend everyone to use this kind of formatting. Okay, however, you may also decide to use some mathematical operations inside your placeholder. For example, we kept our var here, we may decide to times by 4. If we time it by 4 and go ahead and save this, still we are going to have 8 here. Of course we need to have 8 because we times 4, and that's how you can do with your formatting strings. So this is all we can do with strings, and this is all that I wanted to show you, how you can go around with the strings, the formatting, checking the index. So thank you so much guys for watching, and hope to see you on another topic.